What's good, YouTube? Today I want to talk about creating a brand new format for Yu-Gi-Oh! And I'm actually very serious about this. I think with the following that I have and MCole40 has and the power of Zodiac Duelist, a 36,000 person Facebook group, we can actually make this into a kind of reality to play in Yu-Gi-Oh! And it goes with the current format is the most important thing, I think, because we see one other format in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! And that's called GOAT format. It's an actual past format. Past that, I don't see many people play traditional, or almost anyone playing traditional, like, religiously. We don't see, like, real updates to either of those formats either. Like, traditional, yes, new cards come in, but, I mean, the old cards are so powerful that the strategies rarely change. So it's just not played that much either. And I think with Zodiac, with me and Robbie Cole, with a proper sponsor, we can actually create free tournaments with prizes, the following for it if you guys are interested in watching this on my channel, and actually just do something fun. When Generation Duels came out, that was another thing that I thought was really going to take off and not just be temporary. And we saw kind of just full power BA kind of take that over in the Zexal area, and then we saw the degenerate FDKs in the Yugi area, and it just seems like it's really hard for them to update that even with the new cards coming out. And then there's going to be a 6th series. Are they just going to add a 6th wing to the format? What's going to happen? We don't know, but I think it's really important that this format follows current Yu-Gi-Oh! You're going to see the mishmash. So how did this happen? Well, we were streaming. We were live streaming, and it was the most amazing live stream ever. We raised more money than we've ever raised in one live stream, and I'm going to put that back towards my mobile setup here. I went ahead and paid for it out of pocket. I'm going to put it towards that, and I also have 4 regionals coming up in the March/April area, so that's going to be a lot of money for internet as well. So I plan to do more fundraisers like that. I know you guys loved seeing me destroyed with 14 shots. Doug Zeef actually did 14 shots as well, so really fun stream. But this was built by me, Billy Break, and Jackie, and we're going to discuss the format that could come out of it. And this is one of everything. So what I like about these rules are its current format. We're not using ban cards. We're not going backwards. We're using the current forbidden restricted list, putting everything to one-ofs, and it creates one of the most interesting dynamics of mishmash decks. Now, people have said, oh, BA always does really well. Well, BA can't fill out a lot of these 60 cards, and you only get one Dante. People are saying Paleozoic would do really good. Maybe as an engine. This is the cool thing. You're forced to combine so many engines. So we made this deck on the fly, and I'm going to tell you some stories about it, because it's some of the most fun I've had. But my throat's a little dry, so excuse me. I'm going to be doing this a few times during the video. Alright, so the first part you notice is ABC, and you're like, oh man, John. Well, the ABC engine only has these 3 pieces, and the Union Hanger. So, like, the utility in the deck is actually relatively low, even though you'll see it quite often, and you'll be using the gadgets with other pieces of your deck. Next, you see I've got some Lightsworn cards. We've got Lila for general spell and trap destruction. We've got Raiden, which also offers synchro plays once in a while. And then we've got Wolf, which actually I surprisingly milled with my Minerva. By no means is this deck budget in any ways or in real life incarnation. As I said, we might be holding a tournament online for it, but I think it would be a really fun format to play in real life. Like, cubing is another kind of format that's sort of taken off where you play a lot of one of everything. But I think having a constructed deck is so much more fun than having to draft the pieces and then, like, you have all 5. You would have to get all 3 of your A, B, and C, your hanger, and your buster. And then if anybody drafts one of your other pieces to block you, it just sucks. So I feel like mishmashing and creativity trumps that kind of, in a sense, at least for me. So we have our Brilliant Fusion engine here as well that also includes the Wolf. But I don't know if I would play Brilliant going forward. You know, you're just as likely to draw your Garnet as your Brilliant Fusion. But he's a 1900 beater, which actually is not that bad in this format. We've got Fairy Tail Snow. We've got Thunder King trying to set up early turn 1s. Not too many traps to protect him, though. We've got Lightning Rod Lord as well. This actually got summoned on us in regular matches, and it was actually pretty annoying. We got Luster Pendulum, Master Pendulum, and Vector rounding out my little engine here. Vector, not the worst thing ever to draw, and it was actually really fun. Like, I got to mill this and summon a PLS. There's some really funny things that happen in this format. We've got the Magispector small engine here with 1 Kieran. We've got the Odd Eyes engine completed here. Remember Pot of Greed? I remember Pot of Greed. Well, we get to play it in this format, just that way. We've got our Odd Eyes Unicorn. We've got Skull Corvette. So we actually have some really funny attack strategies in this deck, along with Joker, that also utilizes your Magician part of the deck, which has some really funny synergy with ABC. Like, I opened Hanger Terraforming. I got to Hanger. I got to go ahead and put A, and then equip B, and then I got to go ahead and play Iris, pop the B, and get the C to hand, and get the search. It was some really cool stuff. Like, it would be really interesting to, like, even see kind of more a focused, like, Performapal ABC deck in full power, like, with 3 of everything. And that's the strategy I never really thought of, like, getting the Pendulum Summon, the A, B, and C pieces, getting the Sky Iris pops. Really fun stuff. Then we've got Turkey, kind of our secondary boss monster to be a less over here. And then 2 generic scales, like a low scale and a high scale as well. Just overall, this deck was really funny because it actually was keeping up with current meta the way I was drawing. Like, I was drawing the ABC engine early, and then you actually have Emerald to help recur your Buster. It's pretty cool how that worked out. And like Zoo, how would Zoo do in here? You only get 1 rep here. So like, would you even be playing Zoo in this format? Like, I think the format naturally takes care of itself. As each ban list comes, it'll just affect this. As each, like, you know, kind of set comes out, we can discuss as, like, the people running it if we need to strike some kind of card from the actual thing. But during this, so far, it's really fun. Like I said, people are thinking, like, so many different decks would be good, like Paleozoic B8 in this format. Ediception just straight up said, I've got this, I would win. Like, I think it would be really interesting to hold a 64-man tournament on this. What do you guys think? Like, I really think it would be good. So let's go ahead and get into my spells. Instant Fusion, generic wipes, Rhoda for the Photon Thrasher, pretty much. There's also Raiden. I don't know that it searches anything else besides those 2. We've got Pot of Desires. I thought about not playing this card because you want to play your engine to the fullest, and if you could actually wreck your own engines because there's so many engines. We've got Odd Eyes Fusion here for Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon, pretty good. Pendulum Call, Summoner's Art. Charge of the Light Brigade MST, Cosmic Cyclone, Face Off, very powerful. We've got Twin Twisters, Brilliant Fusion, Terraforming, Sky Iris, Union Hanger, and Majesty's Pegasus. So the field spell is, of course, very powerful to draw. Excuse me. So, I really just like everything about this format, though. Like, look, we've got Rafflesia targets with Floodgate and Bottomless. We've got the Magispector stuff in the Barrier. And the extra deck is also not exempt from the one of everything rules. As you see, every card is different. There with the Brilliant Fusion, there with the Instant Fusion, Ignister, Odd Eyes package, the Utopia family, alongside their level 6. We've got Castel, Minerva. Like I said, no means realistic or budget here. We were playing pretty much full power of the format. But what do you guys think? Like, Magic has so many formats that are successful. And while we've had other formats pop up, like I said, Generation Duels, Goat format, E-Dragon format, Necros Mirrors, like, those kinds of things are just past formats that don't evolve, that you would see the Magic even evolves their old formats. And I think realistically we should be playing something like this format. And if we were to create, like, a kind of different aspect of this, what if we were to create, say, heroes, so to speak, for this format? Like, what if we were to create, say, you know, a deck master? Like, they have heroes in Hearthstone if you haven't played Hearthstone, and that's kind of a permanent character you have on your side that you can use the effect of over and over. And what if we had some kind of thing like that for this format as well? But I think that's a lot of work and a lot of balance that could get abused with new cards coming out. I like, you know, if I'm creating this, I like being more simplistic, and I think this is pretty cool. You're keeping up with the current format, you're practicing with cards from the current format, you're combining strategies from the current/past formats that were very recent that could even recur. Like, we saw Pal Metal Foes actually top. And maybe you'll find wacky combinations that you could actually just abuse really well. Like, I probably should have played some kind of Metal Foes deck, maybe because they're able to recur themselves so well with Mithrilium. But with only 1 Mithrilium, you gotta protect that Mithrilium. It's just so interesting. The possibilities are so endless with this format, I feel. Like, because the format is literally current format, and the current format is so diverse, and it kind of restricts Zodiacs from being entering naturally on its own. Like, if you're playing the Zoo engine, you could get a lot off that one Wilmer and Drancia. Drancia would be pretty good, but that's all you're going to get out of it. So what do you guys think? What rules would you like to see implied? What decks would you think are best? I don't want to include ban cards, and I don't think I would. Again, this is kind of a format that me and MCole40 might put together and run a tournament for if we get a sponsor for it. Have a free prize, test it out. But I think it's a format that on its own, it's kind of like constructed cubing, if you think about it, with a current format. You're not restricted to the cube. You get the whole card pool, and you get it all in one ofs. So what would break this format? What would you like to see implemented for it? If we made quote-unquote deck masters, which was, again, kind of something people tried to make for fun that never took off, how could we balance them? What could we do with them? And what would you play? Would you play Paleo? Would you play BA? Would you be playing Pins Like Me? Would you be trying Metal Foes? What engines would you mishmash together in 60 card 1-of format? Thanks for watching, and I really do want to create this.